So Ty, diehard Houston Rockets fan. Every time I see this dude, he like, man, yo, he got something to say about Houston. All right, he the one that told me first that they were going to try to get Udoka or Nick Nurse. He told me that first, and they went and got Udoka. So Ty, you hit me up. You wanted to talk about this. James Harden is reporting that he's going to sign with Houston most likely. Do you like that move or no?
Not at all. Which comes to us as a surprise to a lot of people. I've been not on the show, but in the comments, arguing people down, defending James Harden and his legacy, right? Because when you talk about comparisons between Luka Doncic and, just some of the greatest shooting guards of all time, Dwayne Wade, um, Kobe Bryant, James Harden names comes up a lot as a great shooting guard. But I often find myself having to defend his legacy. So, like the topic says, Houston, Brooklyn, Philly, the journey for James Harden has been a long one, playoff wise, championship wise, just from his time being drafted by OKC and where he is now. Now, full circle moment, his return to Houston. I don't like it at all. I feel like there is on the court, it will fit. But I'm more worried about off the court and our current position in the rebuild. I don't think James Harden adds a significant value in terms of being able to lead these young guys. I think we need more of a vocal leader. James Harden has never really been a vocal leader. He's been I'm going to lead by my play, right? I'm going to go out there and ball. You never really see him being vocal on any of the teams he's been on in all his years in Houston. So I think this team needs a vocal leader, which Ime will come in and be that, but we need somebody on the floor to be that. So we need that. And I think one of the most important things for me for this coming back to Houston, all of this, I feel like James Harden coming back to Houston would be on his terms. And it's like throughout his whole tenure with Houston, they gave him the keys to the organization. He was great friends with Daryl Morey the whole time, had control over the roster. He brought in who we wanted to bring in. He got rid of coaches. Kevin McHale, one of my favorite coaches, he got him out of there for D'Antoni, and D'Antoni gave him the keys to the offense for years, led him, to number one offense in the league a couple years as far as points per game. So James Harden has had the keys to the Houston Rockets for years. So then when you look at how he left, this team ain't good enough to compete. He showed up to camp his last season out of shape. He got back in shape, and I think he dropped like 40 when everybody was talking shit, saying that he wasn't in shape. So he dropped. But the way he left, and so now I feel like he wants to come back, and reports he won a $200 million 4-year contract. And you want to come back on your terms to the place that you stormed out of. And so that's my feelings around it. I don't think that he would be a great fit off the court for these young guys. And I don't like that he feels that he can just go back to Houston. And they say it's reports that he's leveraging the Rockets' return to try to get a bigger contract somewhere else. So don't use us as bait. You know what I mean? And say, well, they'll give me a max, so y'all need to give me the max. You know what I mean? That means you don't really want to come back. You're using us as leverage. And I got to mention my young boys. So we got Ime, great coach. You see what he did in Boston. He took them from a good team, great team, but he had them competing against the Warriors in the championship. Nothing needs to be said about what he did. Now, it's a reason why he chose to come to the Houston Rockets. Jalen Green, Kevin Porter Jr., Jabari Smith, Sengun, Tari Eason, Kenyon Martin Jr. All of these guys is nice in their own right. So he got talent there. And I just want to, we got to talk statistics sometimes. So where did the Rockets rank last year? I bet you won't know this, Joe. You might.
Uh-oh.
You might. Y'all might. What did the Rockets lead in the top 5? We didn't lead, but we finished in the top 5.
Okay. You asked me? Oh,
Rebounds per game. Did you know that?
didn't know
We
that.
finished number 4 in rebounds per game.
Oh,
Right? That's a decent stat, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But that's the thing. In the places where it matters, we finished last in the league. Defense, offensive ranking. But we finished fourth in rebounding. And what's this other one? Let me see. 4th in points per game. Points in the paint per game.
Okay.
So we got some good guys, good highlights. We young, we run. I think Ime will have him fast forward, running that fast break out on the break. And then he going to give us what we need in terms of defense. You know what I'm saying? We need defense. We finished 28 in points allowed per game last year. That's terrible. So we need defense. And I think, for me, it's the value. What does he bring that I want to pull this comparison up too, because I've been preparing. So he wants a $200 million contract for 4 years. Now, if he come in, he will be playing the point guard. Kevin Porter Jr. is our current point guard. Now, I'm not in no way, shape, or form comparing Kevin Porter Jr. to James Harden, but strictly at a point guard position and what they do right now. Here's their numbers. James Harden last year, 21 points per game, 6.1 rebounds per game, 10.7 assists, 41.1 field goal percentage, 38% from three-point percent. All right. Kevin Porter Jr., 19.2 points per game, 5 rebounds per game, 5.7 assists per game, 44.2% in field goal. He actually shoot better from the field goal than James Harden. And 36.6 per game. So only 0.2 or 2 points off from his three-point percentage. So we get Harden. How much is he an improvement for the money, strictly financial-wise? How much of an improvement for the money is he over Kevin Porter Jr. right now?
When you bring money into it, nah, you better off where you at. Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. It don't make sense for us right now. And then a last thing that I want to say. We got Ime Udoka. We got the number 4 pick. We got $60 million in cap space. We got draft picks to trade. Okay. And we have young players to trade. I feel like as long as they keep, these are my favorite 3. Sengun, Jalen Green, Jabari Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else is up for grabs. It depending if the right deal comes for me. Mm-hmm. So with all of that being said, with Ime Udoka as a good coach and they sign somebody, they draft whoever they're going to draft, we might make the play-in game. We might make the 7 or 8 seed.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if we go out and sign James Harden for $200 million, where do you think we would fall in the seed and in the West?
I think, okay, how about this? If y'all got James Harden, he could win y'all some games. I think y'all could be a playoff team. But y'all not going nowhere. Like y'all won't go nowhere. And it was, like you said, it's done y'all growth for what? Just to be relevant temporarily?
Where would we fall? What would y'all give us if y'all had to name a ranking for us next year with James Harden, with the young guys? And Ime Udoka.
What James Harden get, man?
Yeah, I would say if you get a motivated James Harden, I would say at least fighting for a play-in spot. At least.
A play-in. So we're gonna sign 200 just to get to the play-in?
So
I can't tell you. I'm a Wizards fan, so I would say yeah.
And I know you saw news from the Wizards too, Tomo. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that, though.
We might as well stay where we at, man. This point in the rebuild, stay where we at. Let James Harden figure out whatever he's gonna figure out at this point in his career. stay where we at. And we gonna end up. I see y'all said 7 or 8 or the play-in. I was saying with James Harden with a young team and some, we might could finish maybe six,
I can see
seven,
that.
maybe depending on what James Harden you get. But still,
For what though?
that's not. We might as well continue where we at. They talking about we might get Jaylen Brown. I love it. Bring Jaylen Brown in with his old coach. You never know. Marcus Smart might say, "Man, I'm out of here." Come, we could trade and get some guys. I feel like you could build around the core of Jaylen Brown and the young guys that we got now, and win some games, make the playoffs, and that'll make other guys come to you. Come on down to Houston. No state tax. So
Mm-hmm.
it's always an attractive spot for free agents. So we'll see, man. I just had to come on here and we are a Houston Rockets fan lifelong, and we are renouncing James Harden. We do not want him back in Houston.
Oh
Go,
man.
go back to Brooklyn. Go back stay in Philly. We don't want you back in Houston, man. Sorry. I appreciate it. But that's the thing. I gotta come on here and I really gotta say, y'all know, I appreciate all the years, 9 years he was in Houston. I think his career points per game, his best season with Houston. How many? I think he averaged 28.
30, no,
20.
35, 30, 36, like that. Remember, you're like 36 one year, 35.
I got it as 1920, but he said 29.6. But you might be right.
You talking about points per game, right?
Yeah, points per game.
Yeah, he averaged like 35 one year with y'all.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm not taking away from what the man can bring to the table. I just think right now, at this point in time, it's not a good fit for the organization. And I don't want him. I'm a Houston Rockets fan first. So I don't want him tarnishing what we doing. We in the rebuild, second phase. Let him go. Just let the young boys go. That's all.
Yeah, in the 3 year span, he averaged 34, 36, 30.
Yeah, no, he went
Yeah.
off. I see
But
why he
go ahead,
want to go
Tom.
back. I see why he want to go back. Man, listening to how you talk about James Harden is how I hear some of my Wizards fans talk about John Wall and the potential of him coming back. And like, nah, bro, we good. But his fans is like, we need a point guard. See, your situation in Houston is better because you actually have a foundation and you have I want to say, proven head coach because he literally took a young core to the finals and they went, I won't say toe for toe, but the turnovers did kill the Celtics in that finals run. But Ime, he has something about how he just connects with a team, and I believe he could do that with the Rockets. That also makes me want to change my mind because I was one of the people that said James Harden can go back to Houston, and it will probably work. But now that I think about how Ime has such a feel for the locker room, and James Harden coming in that locker room and being back in Houston, just being a man, if he doesn't have an ego, I think it can work. But we've seen James Harden, and that ego is going to come out at some point, and it's going to mess up everything. But the future's bright. I also don't like the fact that he's trying to use you all like Houston is his Angie Valdez, and he's Ghost, and he's like, look, I'm trying to get back. So he leveraging that relationship to be like, look, I need my girl at home to act better, so I'm gonna show you what my high school sweetheart showing me. But the rest of the league, like, we don't care. Go ahead. We don't want to pay you. So James, I don't know. Like we said, we couldn't find a perfect fit. I said the Timberwolves. That's the only place I think he could actually go somewhere and make
He gonna
something
stunt.
happen.
He gonna stunt Ants Groves. It's like because his style of play. Because this is what he said. I need to be me again. Like he pulled a Westbrook. Like I need to go be me again. When he said, shout out to J-Mo, I don't want to take his credit. When he said Philly is where I wanted to be at the first place, when he first got to Philly. Remember that? I always wanted to be in Philly anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So my whole thing is like for James Harden, it's a good move. For all the reasons you say he want to go for. Because y'all have a good team for his play style, I believe. But it won't help y'all at all. Y'all not winning the championship. No matter who y'all, if James Harden your best player, you're not winning the championship. Not winning the championship. And on top of that, y'all got to spend $200 million on them. And y'all wasting 4 years of Udoka's coaching and Jalen Green's growth. Like, you was naming your players, right? Ty,
Mm-hmm.
these are the old, these are, all right, DJ Augustine, 35. He not going to be the next year, probably. No. Boban, 34. We're not gonna count him. Frank
Didn't even play
Kaminsky.
him.
Yeah, Frank Kaminsky, 30 years old. Let's not count him. Willie Collinstein just came from the Sharks, 29 years old. We're not gonna count him either. Y'all real roster. Everybody like Jay Sean Tate, he 27. He got oldest player. And then everybody else is 24. Kevin Porter is 23. Kean Martin Jr. is 22. Easton, like you said, is 22. I mean, Jalen Green, 21. Everybody's young. St. Gould is 20. Like, why would you even mess that up? If anything, take a year off, development still, and then bounce back next year. But y'all got $60 million cap space. Use something better.
There's so much better ways to spend that money. That's all I'm saying. You know me, I'm a businessman. I try to be. So that does not make fiscal sense. That does not make good financial sense at all.
Okay.
To pay James Harden $200 million when you could spend that. Look at the free. I don't have it pulled up, but if you look at the free agents that's available, why would you spend that money on James Harden?
Hey, hold on, J-Mo. J-Mo said Rockets will be crazy to sign him for $200 million. They gonna bring Hakeem back too.
Come on, man. They wild, man. Free agent this year, you got Chris Middleton, Kyrie, Porzingis, D'Lo, Kevin Love,
Kuzma,
Vucevic, Draymond, Fran VanVleet, Barnes, Jeremy Grant, Karis LeVert, Gary Trent Jr. You know, it's Malik Beasley, Christian Wood, Brooke Lopez, Kyle Kuzma, like you said, Jordan Clarkson, Josh Hart. There's a lot of Kelly Oubre Jr. It's a lot of good pieces I can just add in there.
I want to add, right, defense. You know me, I'm a big defense guy, which is why I love the Houston Rockets and James Harden. But for too long, we was an offensive-minded and offensive-centric team. Under D'Antoni, that's all he cared about. Outscore, run and gun, fast break. What was it? 10 seconds or less offense, or 7 seconds or less offense.
Yep.
So
D'Antoni.
I want to finally see if we can get some defensive-minded players. For that same money, we need to sign perimeter defense, and we need a rim protector. You put that with the core that we got, veterans, mind you, veteran perimeter defense, veteran rim protection, and we need a knockdown shooter. Nobody, I don't know the stats, but we finished next to last in the league in 3-point percentage. So we need shooters, 3-and-D, rim perimeter defense, and rim protection. And you can spend that. You can get that in free agency, but you're going to sign James Harden for $200 million, and then what?
Yeah, it's not right.
So
it's not right.
Well, I will say this though. The funds in the state will go up. I mean, in the city gonna go up if James Harden signed for 200, because you know what's gonna happen. You already know.
He gonna have all them young boys spending all their good money.
You know
he gonna make them go broke. Them young boys that ain't had that NBA counseling for their money yet, he gonna have them broke. Trying to keep up with him.
All right, Ty, appreciate you for coming on. Before you hop off, let's get some last words. You could, we talk about your team the whole time. Knowing people give a shout out to something, their team or anybody. So they get some last words before you hop off. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm here, Ravens fan too.
Yes, sir. I got to get back on here for when the football season starts. I'm happy we got Lamar. We kept him back. I love it.
I don't have no real beef with the Ravens. It's just the AFC North thinking they better than the NFC East. That's it.
We are. I heard from
okay, man. Go ahead, get your last words off, man. Look, they showing up in the comments now.
Look, my shout out is to y'all, man. We, like Joe talked about this for the longest time and had the dream and the vision of having a platform. These are the conversations that we had as kids, teenagers growing up in barbershops, basement, at the court. We just had them. So for Joe and Tomo, for y'all, and the rest of everybody else that's involved, to be able to have a platform where we can have these conversations. So that's my shout out to y'all for having me on the show and having a platform where we can talk about. You know what I mean? And talk. I talk. You know, I tune in. It's hilarious. The show is hilarious. All the guests. You know, it's a great show, great platform. And so, and my last shout out is to, I don't know if y'all can see that. Y'all see my background?
That's T-Mac.
Yes, sir. My favorite player. So I had to throw that up there. That's my man, 100 grand. So I'll see y'all again. Thank y'all for having me.
Appreciate the words, Ty. We're going to add you to the R2L chat. All right, so you can be with everybody else. All right, everybody.
All right,
you see the whole AFC North was like, get them in the chat now.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, Ty. Appreciate you, man. And then anytime, let us know. You back on.
All right, bet.
All right. Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.